Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Inain's Forensic Classroom. So in our last videos, we covered the fundamentals of crime scene photography, like what it is, its purpose, the golden rule, the three-tier approach, and the technical basics of the photography. Now, if you haven't watched those, please go watch it first because this video builds directly on it. Now, in today's video, we are going into the practical side. We will be talking about the types of cameras that are used. We will be talking about the types of lens and the lighting techniques. Okay. Now, this is the section that has the most exam relevant content. So stay with me till the end. Now let's talk about the types of cameras that are used in crime scene photography. Now, different types of cameras are used depending on the nature of the scene, the type of evidence, and the resources available. Okay, now we will talk about the first one, which is DSLR, which you can see here, which stands for Digital Single Lens Reflex Camera. Now, look at this camera that's on your screen. This is a Nikon DSLR, which is one of the most widely recognized professional cameras in the forensic photography. Now, DSLR stands for Digital Single Lens Reflex Camera, and it is the most commonly used cameras in the professional crime scene photography. It offers high resolution image capture, complete manual control over aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, and the ability to use a wide range of interchangeable lenses. Now, manual mode is also essential because automatic settings can distort the evidence representation in poor lighting, which is exactly what most crime scenes have. Now we will talk about the second one, which is a mirrorless camera. Now, this one is a mirrorless camera. Notice how compact and lightweight it is compared to the DSLR that we just saw. Now, mirrorless cameras are increasingly replacing DSLRs in modern forensic work. Now, they offer comparable image quality. They have faster autofocus and a better low light performance, and importantly it has a silent shooting mode, which is valuable in sensitive investigation environment. Now, brands like Sony, Fujifilm, they produce mirrorless cameras which are widely used in professional forensic photography today. Then we will move on to the medium format cameras. Now this one is a medium format camera, and if it looks larger and more specialized than the previous two, that is because it is more specialized. Now, medium format cameras, they offer extremely high resolution imaging. They are far beyond what a standard DSLR can produce. Now, they are used when the finest possible detail must be captured for very small trace evidence, document examination, or when photographs need to be significantly enlarged for court presentation without any loss of clarity. Now, these are specialized tools which are typically found only in well-equipped forensic laboratories. Then we will look into the UV cameras. Now look carefully at these two images that are on your screen. They show the same child photographed under normal light, which is on the left, and under the UV light on the right. Now, under the normal light, the bruising is barely visible, which is here, and under the UV light you can see the bruising becomes clearly defined and documentable. Now, this is the power of UV, ultraviolet cameras. UV cameras capture images using ultraviolet light rather than the visible light, and they reveal evidence which are invisible under normal lighting. For example, latent fingerprints, biological fluids, bruising beneath the skin surface, and certain types of trace evidence. These UV photographs have revolutionized the detection of biological evidences at the crime scene. Now let's talk about the IR cameras. Okay, let's look at these two pair of trousers, and on the right pair, which is under the IR photography, the stains are barely visible under normal lights, and it becomes dramatically clear when you look at the IR photographs. Now, IR cameras capture images using infrared light, and they are used for seeing through certain materials, detecting the altered or forged documents, photographing in complete darkness, and it also helps in revealing evidences that have been obscured or burnt. Now, they are particularly valuable in arson investigation and document examination cases. Then we have drone cameras. Here you can see a drone in the top left, and below it you have an aerial photograph of the vehicles that are on a road taken from directly above, right? This is a possible case of hit and run. Now, this perspective is simply impossible to achieve from the ground level. Now, for the large outdoor scenes, for example, you have open fields or accident sites or mass casualty events or difficult terrain, drone cameras provide an invaluable aerial view showing layout, boundaries surrounding environments, and spatial relationships that ground photography cannot capture. Now, Indian police departments are also increasingly adopting drone photography for large scale crime scenes. So now let's talk about the smartphone cameras. These are worth mentioning, but see, these are not the ideal ones because smartphone cameras are sometimes used for initial documentation when the professional equipment is not immediately available. But mobile cameras are generally avoided in the professional investigation because they may compress the image data, the metadata may not be secure, and the image integrity can be questioned in the court of law. Now let's talk about the types of lenses that are used in the crime scene photography. Now, along with the camera body, the choice of lens is equally critical. Okay, let's go through each one of them. Like, let's talk about the first one, which is wide angle lens. Now, this one ranges from 14 mm to 35 mm. Now, these are used for overview and mid-range photography. It captures a broad field of view, which is very perfect for entire rooms or large outdoor scenes, like what you see here. However, excessive wide angle can cause distortion at the edges of the frame, and this limitation must always be noted in a photo log. Now, if you talk about the 35 mm lens, this is one of the most widely used lens in crime scene photography. It offers a field of view which is very close to what the human eye naturally sees, which makes the photographs feel natural, undistorted, and easy to understand for judges and juries in the court. This is commonly used for mid-range photographs and general scene documentation. Now we'll talk about the another lens, which is the standard lens of 55 mm. Now this is considered as the standard one, and like the 35 mm, it closely replicates the natural human vision, and it is used for general documentation, mid-range shots, and situations where a natural and undistorted representation of the scene is needed. Then we have something called as macro lens, which is used for close-up photography, and it captures the tiny details at life size or larger than life size magnification. Now, in crime scene photography, the macro lens is absolutely essential for photographing fingerprints, tool marks, or fiber evidence, or insect evidence and decomposition cases, and any other minute trace evidence. Now, this is exactly what a macro lens captures. Look at this bullet casing on your screen. The every ridge, every marking, every minute manufacturing details is visible in fine detail. Now, if you have a good macro lens, it can reveal details completely invisible to the naked eye, and it is one of the most powerful tools in forensic photographers kit. Then we will also talk about the telephoto lens, which ranges from 70 mm and above. Now, this is basically a telephoto lens in action. You can notice how long the lens is and how far the photographer is from the subject. Now, these telephoto lenses, it allows the photographer to capture detailed images from a distance. Now, in forensic photography, this is useful when getting physically close to the evidence might disturb the scene, or in larger outdoor scenes where evidence needs to be photographed from across a wide area without the photographers entering that space. So this is all about today's video. In the next video, we will be talking about lighting in crime scene photography. Then we will move on to the ethical and professional guidelines. We will also talk about the legal framework, but everything in the next video. So thank you so much for being here. If this video has helped you, please hit the like button. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.